evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Heartland Championship Wrestling. My name is Dave Little, and we are coming to you live from the Dave Cave with something a little different tonight. But we have action for you from Pro Wrestling Mid-America, and it looks like a magnificent crowd here tonight on the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. So thank you all, one and all, for tuning in. Gosh, let's see who's here tonight. Neil Loud, Jeff Stafford, Frank Wainscott, Michael Brada, Bear 805, Super Blue 1971. Good to see you, Mike Fortune. And I believe that's everybody. Frank, Jeff, Michael, Mike, Neil, Bear, and everybody. We are here tonight in Dallas, Texas, for action from Pro Wrestling Mid-America. And if you were with us last week, it was a monumental week. Derek Bauman checking in. Thank you for joining us, Derek. We saw the pay-per-view broadcast Cult of Personality, the big Heartland Hype event, where both the World Heavyweight Championships changed hands. The Briscoe brothers, Jack and Jerry, went down to defeat at the hands of Tony Gurria and Larry Zbyszko for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. And in the main event, Barry Windham captured the World Heavyweight Championship with a win over the Nature Boy Ric Flair. As fate would have it, both the new champions, Gurria and Zbyszko, and Barry Windham, both had advanced through the ranks of Pro Wrestling Mid-America, where they held gold. So as of last week, both the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Championship and the PWMA Tag Team Championships are vacant. And here tonight in Dallas, we are fixing to put a stop to that. Of course, the show opened with Jimmy Hart coming out and just crowing at Lance Russell, as proud as could be. He now manages the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Barry Windham. And Hart is also the manager of Terry Funk, who is the Lone Star Heavyweight Champion and the number one contenders to the PWMA Tag Team Championship, the team of Stan Hansen and Ole Anderson. So Hart's stable, Whatever We Want, is on the verge of taking over in Texas. And Hart basically demanded that Commissioner Lance Russell hand over the belts and was going to award Terry Funk with the PWMA Heavyweight Championship and was going to award Stan Hansen and Ole Anderson with the tag team titles. And of course, Lance Russell, being the man that he is, put a stop to that and called out the number one contender to the PWMA Heavyweight Championship, Steve Dr. Death Williams. And it will be Terry Funk against Dr. Death Steve Williams in our main event for the vacant PWMA Heavyweight Championship. As for the Tag Team Championship, there was not a clear number one contender for those belts other than Hansen and Anderson. So Lance Russell declared an 8-man battle royal. And in that battle royal will be one representative from each of the top 8 tag teams in the Pro Wrestling Mid-America territory. And the winner of that battle royal and his partner will challenge Hansen and Anderson for the PWMA Tag Team Championship here tonight in Dallas. So we're going to kick things off with this Battle Royal, an 8-man Battle Royal. Now, if you've done a Battle Royal in Filsinger games before, it's a lot of fun, but it can be like 7 matches all rolled up into one. So instead of doing a traditional Filsinger-style Battle Royal, we're going to do something different. And we are going to do a Battle Royal using the rules instituted by S.T. Patrick in his Squared Circle Wrestling game. And we will explain those rules as we go along. So I am going to flip over to simply the monitor. Hopefully you all can see this. and still hear me. It looks like I am coming in well on the microphone. Now, for starters, every wrestler who enters a squared circle battle royal gets a battle royal adjustment. And in terms of the Filsinger Games cards, I have created my own adjustment, which is 2 times the power. So the more powerful wrestlers get a bigger advantage. And you throw in the agility, so there is an advantage for the more agile wrestlers. And you also throw in a cage factor, 5 minus the cage. So the more badass you are, the lower your cage rating, the better your adjustment. So with each of the men in the Battle Royal having that adjustment, I have put together a Battle Royal chart, which you all should now be seeing on your screen. These are the 8 men who are entered in the Battle Royal: Billy Gunn, Hartford Love, Ron Bass, Ray Stevens, Mad Dog Vachon, Danny Hodge, Bill Dundee, and Magnum TA. Column B contains the adjustment for each of these men based upon that formula that we just showed. The yellow column is a random number generator, because the way that the St. Patrick rules work is that everybody rolls a 20-sided die, and nobody wants to sit here and watch me roll 8 20-sided dice every round. But once the 20-sided die are rolled and the adjustment factor is added, for each round, the wrestler with the highest rating eliminates the wrestler with the lowest rating. In this case, Ray Stevens has the highest rating, and the lowest rating is a tie between Mad Dog Vachon and Magnum TA. So under these circumstances, it would be Ray Stevens eliminating both Mad Dog Vachon and Magnum TA in that segment of the Battle Royal. So I'm going to flip back over to the chat room here for just a moment. Did everybody get the hint? Did that make sense to everybody in terms of what we have in store for the Battle Royal? Hopefully that did. And as we go back to the Excel file, we will let the Battle Royal begin. And every time I hit this calculator in the upper right-hand side of the screen, that will re-roll the 20-sided dice in column C, and let's get it underway and see what happens. And the first roll, it is Danny Hodge and Billy Gunn tied for the top roll, and Ray Stevens is the low man. So Ray Stevens is eliminated by the combination of Gunn and Danny Hodge. So we will knock Ray Stevens out of the Battle Royal. And when we roll again, it will be now Billy Gunn and Hartford Love at the top. And the low man here is Bill Dundee. So Bill Dundee is knocked out. So Billy Gunn, very active here in this match, assisting with the first 2 eliminations as he tries to get the New Age Outlaws into tag team contention. So out goes Bill Dundee. We'll delete him. And for our next roll, it will be Hartford Love now with the high roll. And the low roll is a tie between Mad Dog Vachon and Danny Hodge. So big move there for Hartford Love, getting rid of both Mad Dog Vachon and Danny Hodge. Solid effort there by Hartford Love as the Love brothers look to get into contention here tonight in Dallas. So we get rid of Mad Dog and Danny. And that leaves us down to the final 4. Billy Gunn, Hartford Love, Ron Bass, and Magnum TA. And on the next roll, it is Billy Gunn coming up big again and getting rid of Hartford Love. So Billy Gunn now with 3 of the eliminations that we have seen here in this Battle Royal. Say goodbye to Hartford Love and the Love brothers. We're now down to the final 3. And as we roll, we have 3 rolls all above 20. And the rule in the Squared Circle Battle Royal is that if your adjusted roll is above 20, you cannot be eliminated. So Billy Gunn, Ron Bass, and Magnum TA battling it out. The final 3 men in this Battle Royal looking for the opportunity to challenge for tag team gold. And as we roll again, now it is Magnum TA coming up big and getting rid of Ron Bass. So it will be the final 2 men, Magnum TA and Billy Gunn. And you know what? I am going to pull those cards, and we're going to play these 2 out in a standard Battle Royal style match until one of them gets pitched out of the ring or pinned. So Billy Gunn and Magnum TA will be going for it here in Dallas for the tag team title match opportunity. All right, as we go back to the tabletop, here we go. Hopefully you all were able to get that. And my tabletop should be empty right now. I am not sure why that is. Seems like it is paused. Maybe I'm just lagging behind here. So we go here, we're showing the tabletop, we go back here. Oh gosh, I'm like way behind on my stream. For some reason I'm seeing a big delay. I'm still seeing the monitor from back a couple minutes ago. But as it is, we are going to have Billy Gunn and Magnum TA battling it out mano a mano, with the winner advancing to the Heartland Tag Team Championship match here tonight in Dallas. Okay, yeah, now I'm seeing the Battle Royal itself. So I must have a pretty significant delay from what I am seeing on the tabletop. But we are just going to push ahead and go with that. So Billy Gunn and Magnum TA squaring off one-on-one. And it is Billy Gunn taking the advantage early. And Billy Gunn with a forearm jab, but Magnum TA is going to fire right back, and Magnum TA with a running forearm stuns Billy Gunn. Magnum TA looking to get his partner Brad Armstrong into the tag team championship tonight. Here is Magnum TA with a backdrop. But Billy Gunn is able to reverse that, and it is Billy Gunn who comes right back with a slap across the face, followed by a humiliating, embarrassing, trash-talking crotch chop. So Billy Gunn reliving his Degeneration X days, and Billy Gunn is going to follow that up with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Billy Gunn, and on a roll of 4, that's good for Magnum. That is Billy Gunn bouncing forward off the turnbuckle, but Magnum TA charging at him and nailing Billy Gunn with a skull-splitting running lariat. And Billy Gunn has been staggered. He is hurt. And Magnum TA is coming after him with a leg drop. And Billy Gunn is still hurt. Magnum TA follows that up with a series of quick right jabs. Magnum TA's got it going now. More jabs being delivered by Magnum TA. And Magnum now with another big back body drop puts Billy Gunn back down to the canvas. More right jabs from Magnum, and now Billy finally blocks one of those right jabs and fires back with a forearm jab of his own. They're going toe-to-toe in the center of the ring. Here's Magnum trying to catch a side headlock, but Billy reverses that, and Billy comes back with a big jackhammer and slams Magnum TA down into the canvas. My goodness, was that ever nasty. Magnum TA slow to get to his feet. Billy Gunn is on him with another big jackhammer. Magnum TA goes down and stays down. And now a spike pile driver. That is a tag team move, so that's not going to work out here. Instead, it is going to be Billy with another big jackhammer. And Magnum TA has been staggered by this big power flurry by Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn now stomping his man down in the corner. Magnum TA holding on for dear life as Billy Gunn comes back with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Magnum TA. And on a roll of 7, it is a big kick by Billy Gunn that stuns Magnum TA. Billy coming back now with a big power slam. This big stud has just slammed Magnum TA into the canvas. What's Billy Gunn going to do here? He is going to go for the Cobra Clutch Slam. And Magnum TA is down. Slow to get to his feet. Billy's on him and stomping him down in the corner once again. Billy Gunn has all the momentum here. Whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Magnum. But on a roll of 2, it is Magnum TA who ducks out of the way of a running clothesline. He's got Billy Gunn rolled over for a roll-up. The pin roll here would be 3, and on a roll of 8, Billy Gunn able to kick out, but Magnum TA turning the tide out of nowhere. And now Magnum with a big atomic drop, stunning Billy Gunn. Magnum coming back with another leg drop, keeping Billy Gunn down on the mat. Magnum now with a series of right jabs, and Kip James is going to fire right back, and it is now Kip James with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Magnum TA, and on a roll of 4, it is Billy Gunn setting his head too soon. And again, Magnum TA stops and drops Billy Gunn with a big pile driver. And now Magnum with another atomic drop. Billy Gunn cannot leave the ring. He has to stay in the ring. So Magnum is going to stay on him. And Magnum is going to go for a sleeper hold. This is a choice E maneuver, choice E. He will need a roll of 8 or lower to complete that, and on a roll of 8, the sleeper hold is applied. And Billy Gunn is flailing around the ring, arms going everywhere, as Magnum stays on him and takes him down with another running forearm. Magnum follows that right back up with a big back body drop. And another leg drop onto Billy Gunn. Magnum still in control here. And now Magnum with a big drop kick. Stuns Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn slumps into the corner. Barely avoiding elimination there. But Magnum comes at him with an atomic drop. He'll be pinned on a roll of 4 or lower. And on a roll of 6, Billy Gunn able to survive once again. And now Magnum is going to try and throw him out of the ring. Let's see, how do we do the out of the ring roll? We'll do the same way we do some other stuff. He's got 2 points of fatigue and a pin rating of 5. So it will be and so we'll subtract 5 from 12, and it'll be 2 to 7. Magnum TA will win it. And on a roll of 10, Billy Gunn is able to hold on. But Magnum stays on him, weakening him with the abdominal stretch. And another series of right jabs. Billy Gunn still has not got his wits about him, as Magnum TA dumps him to the canvas and drops the leg once again. And now another big drop kick by Magnum TA. Billy Gunn is going to be pinned here on 6 or lower, and on a roll of 4, he got it. So congratulations to Magnum TA. He is your winner in the big battle royal, eliminating Billy Gunn after a drop kick. So Magnum TA gets the final 2 eliminations, and it will be the team of Magnum TA and Brad Armstrong to face the team of Whatever We Want, Stan Hansen and Ole Anderson, in the Tag Team Championship match later tonight. All right, so, gosh, I am just seeing Magnum and Billy Gunn hit the table here. So it looks like my delay is about 10 minutes or so. Hello, Steve Tower. It is great to see you here in the room. I'll be together with Steve next week in Denver for the Play.con. Looking forward to that. And looking forward to tonight's main event with Magnum TA, or tonight's Tag Team Championship match with Magnum TA and Brad Armstrong to take on Stan Hansen and Ole Anderson for the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Championship. But coming up next, we have, while the folks are getting their collective wits back together, we have a standard singles match coming up next, and as the schedule called for it, this singles match is actually going to pit two very heated rivals with a tremendous history against one another. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect for this one, as this is a standard singles matchup. Introducing first, out of Harlem, New York, he stands at 6'1" and weighs 258 pounds. This is Bad News Allen. Bad News Allen Coach from the Legend Prime 2023 Filsinger Games edition. And his opponent comes to you from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. He stands at 5'11", weighs 235 pounds. He is the Hitman, Bret Hart. So Bret Hart and Bad News Allen, a.k.a. Bad News Brown. Bret Hart, of course, a bootleg creation provided by the one and only Will Harrison from the WH Lineup Series. Our good friend Will, raising money for the TNT, the Thegos Trez Hall of Fame. That induction will be next month, and huge news if you're part of the Filsinger game community on a regular basis. You have probably heard the news. If you have not, then buckle up, because a major announcement by Filsinger Games this week in the next card edition will be none other than Bruno Sammartino. Bruno Sammartino getting an official Filsinger Games card as part of the upcoming Tragos Thez Hall of Fame set for 2024, and that is huge. So looking forward to that next month in Waterloo. Later this month it will be Denver for the Play.con. So a good summer will be had here. A matchup you would see in Stampede territory. Salvador America here with us. Good to see you, sir. Order has been placed and not fast enough. All right, here we go. Bret Hart and Bad News Allen Coach. Bad News Allen, quite the competitor, Olympic judo competitor, and really, I really enjoyed his work in the wrestling business as well. Had a good personality, if I recall correctly. Had a run with the Intercontinental title. Never quite made it to that top level, but he is here tonight taking on Bret the Hitman Hart, and the initiative role is won by Bret Hart. And it is Hart coming out with a reverse chin lock, an agility move. He locks that in. But Bad News Allen keeps his feet. Got that good balance from those years of judo competition. Hart with a front face lock. And still, Bad News Allen keeping his feet. Hart follows that up with a reverse chin lock. And Bad News Allen is going to reverse the chin lock. He reversed the reverse chin lock. And what's he going to do? He is going to hit a running power slam and put Bret Hart down onto the canvas. How about that big running power slam by Bad News Allen? That's going to cost Bret Hart a point of fatigue. And Bad News is on him. Bad News coming with a whip out of the ring. And down to the arena floor we go. Both these men dangerous on the arena floor. And on a roll of 7, that is the best man wins roll. And that goes to the wrestler on offense, Bad News Allen, with a slam onto the announcer's table. So first we saw the running power slam, and now Hart is slammed onto the announcer's table. And Bad News Allen is in control. They come back into the ring, and a jumping leg drop by Bad News. He's going to go for the cover here once again, the pinfall on Snake Eyes. But on a roll of 4, Hart able to kick out. Bad News stays on him, and out of the ring we go again. Down to the arena floor, this time on a roll of 6. That is going to be Bret Hart capturing the clean win in the battle on the arena floor. And it will be the Hitman with a pile driver onto the ring steps, and that is nasty. Big pile driver on the ring steps. Hart for the first time with a chance to do some damage. And on, he is going to go for a second rope elbow drop. And with that, Bad News again rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Out of the ring we go again. Will we see shenanigans here? No, we will not. It's going to be the standard out of the ring roll. And on a roll of 5, that is, I believe, the the double disqualification roll. Both wrestlers roll disqualification. Will Bret Hart be disqualified? No. Will Bad News Allen be disqualified? Maybe. Will Bad News Allen be disqualified? Yes. Bad News Allen has been disqualified after a brawl on the arena floor. He Irish whipped Bret Hart into the ring steps and then came after him. The referee tried to get him to stop, and Bad News Allen is disqualified. Let's see what will happen in the aftermath of the disqualification. And I'm getting a streaming error, it looks like, here. So let me know if you are in the chat room and you can hear me or not at this point along the way. As we're getting boos from Steve Tower. I don't know if that's because of the delay in the broadcast or if that's because of the disqualification finish to that match. My OBS is telling me that I still have good connection, but the YouTube is still giving me an error message. Stream is good, says Steve Tower. Thank you for that, Steve. So Bad News Allen is your loser. And let's see what will happen in the disqualification table. This is a homebrew table that I have made, and on a roll of 5, it is a post-match brawl. The post-match brawl is ongoing. And out of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen, as Bret Hart and Bad News Allen are brawling, out of nowhere, here comes Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels is coming in to attack Bret Hart. These two couldn't get along when they were members of the Justice for All faction. Bret Hart has continued with that faction, and Shawn Michaels has gone his own way. And now it is Hart being attacked by Shawn Michaels. And it is Shawn Michaels who is tied up with Bret the Hitman Hart, and those two are going to brawl back to the locker room. No decision in that brawl, but Michaels and Hart getting it on here in Dallas in a nasty brawl that took everybody out of the locker room to try and clean that up. As we now have seen Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels come face to face as tensions have erupted, and Shawn Michaels took the opportunity after Hart picked up the disqualification win to sneak attack Bret Hart in the middle of that post-match brawl and put Bret Hart into a nasty pull-apart brawl here in Dallas. And Steve Tower is on his ukulele playing Sexy Boy in the background as Shawn Michaels comes out and attacks Bret Hart out of nowhere. Of course, we have a big pay-per-view Supercard coming up in July, our Freedom Festival Summer Super Spectacular. Typically, we have all of our grudge match blow-off matches take place at the Freedom Festival. And you had better believe Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels are going to go at it in some form or fashion next month in Dayton, Ohio at Freedom Festival. But ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your Tag Team Championship match. The following contest is scheduled for one fall. With no time limit, it will be one fall to a finish for the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Championship. Michaels is a jerk, says Mike Fortune. This just in. All right, introducing first, team number 1. Coming to the ring first, standing at 6 foot tall, weighing 226 pounds out of Marietta, Georgia. This is Brad Armstrong. And his tag team partner emanates from Virginia Beach, Virginia. He stands at 6'3", weighs 244 pounds. This is Magnum TA. And their opponents, accompanied to the ring by the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, representing the stable known as Whatever We Want. Out of the great state of Minnesota, he stands at 6'1", weighs 256 pounds. This is Ole Anderson. And his tag team partner is from Borger, Texas. Standing at 6'3", weighing 322 pounds. This is the Lariat. Stan Hansen. So Stan Hansen and Ole Anderson coming for the PWMA Tag Team Championship, vacated by Tony Gurria and Larry Zbyszko last week after Gurria and Zbyszko took the World Tag Team titles. And tonight in the Battle Royal, it was Magnum TA winning the Battle Royal to earn this opportunity for his team to wrestle for the gold here in Dallas. As we are setting the stage, getting all the wrestlers set to go. And we appear to be all set as we get the championship dice into play. And Jimmy Hart standing by, ready to cause trouble whenever the need arises. And we are ready for action here. It will be Ole Anderson starting things off against Magnum TA. Boy, Magnum TA, what an unfortunate career. He had all the potential in the world. This was a world champion in the making before the horrific car accident that cost him his career. But here in the land of Filsinger, we get to experience Magnum TA in all of his glory. And it is Magnum who wins the opening initiative role, coming out against Ole Anderson. It is Magnum with a side headlock. Ole reaching back for the blind tag is unable to get the tag as Magnum continues in control and continues now with a fireman's carry takeover. But Ole Anderson blocks that move with a good technical reversal, and it is Ole coming back with a forearm smash across the chest, and Magnum TA fires right back. Magnum with a big attempt at a double leg takedown. Ole's going to reverse that. And it is Ole now coming back with grabbing the right arm of Magnum TA and slamming it down against the turnbuckle. That's got to hurt. Nobody knows how to work a body part like an Anderson. And Ole can do it with the best of them. And here is a nasty double team performed by Anderson and Hansen that is going to put Magnum TA down. Hansen now is in control. And Hansen is going to go for a slingshot elbow drop. This is a choice G maneuver. What can Stan Hansen do on choice G? He can do a power move on a roll of 8 or lower, or a death jump against a death jump rating of A. Stan Hansen is not a death jump kind of a guy, so he will use the power rating. And on a roll of 6, he is successfully able to execute the elbow drop. And Magnum TA now is going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. JT 2.0 is here. The greatest JT of all time. It is a privilege to have you here in the Dave Cave. Magnum TA out of the ring, but on a roll of 9, it is Stan Hansen winning the brawl on the arena floor and just hurling Magnum TA over the security railing and into the crowd. Just for the fun of it. And forcing Magnum TA to make that helpless crawl back into the ring where Hansen is waiting with a serious attitude problem. And Hansen is now going to go for that slingshot elbow drop once again on a roll of 8 or lower, and he hits it again. And this time Magnum TA is stunned. Stan Hansen stays on him with a snapmare, tries to convert that into a sleeper hold, but Magnum TA reverses his way out of that, scrambles to his feet, and responds with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Stan Hansen, and on a roll of 7, it is Hansen who grabs the arm of Magnum and reverses that whip into the turnbuckle. And now a big kick by Stan Hansen stuns Magnum TA as Magnum comes off the ropes. Stan Hansen back in control. Stan Hansen is going to go back to that snapmare into the sleeper hold. And now we're going to see Ole Anderson hit the ring for a double team. And on a roll of 9, it is Hansen holding that hold on Magnum, while Hansen comes off with a big elbow smash, again doing damage to Magnum TA, who is yet to tag out of this match, as Ole comes after him. And it is Ole with a big right hand punch. He connects with the punch, but Magnum TA with the reversal fires back and hits a running forearm that sends Ole Anderson staggering down to the corner. Anderson unable to make the tag. Magnum will tag in Brad Armstrong for the first time, as Brad Armstrong is in the ring and in control, and Armstrong goes for the two-handed bulldog, taking Ole down to the canvas, and Ole is going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Ole from the arena floor on a roll of 7. That's the best man wins roll. Ole is going to have the better ring rating, and he will slam Brad Armstrong onto the announcer's table. Armstrong in trouble here as Ole is in charge. Ole now going for a big shoulder breaker. Armstrong slowly trying to get to his feet as Ole is on him, and now another double team with Ole and HANSEN puts HANSEN back in the ring and in control. HANSEN now with a big Borger body slam, putting Armstrong back down. Armstrong continuing to fight back. And now it is HANSEN with a series of kicks to the back. This is a choice C maneuver. He'll need 8 or lower to complete that with a level 2 defense roll. And he hits the kick to the back. Armstrong quickly over to make the tag to Magnum TA. And it will be Magnum into the ring against Stan HANSEN, as Magnum comes out and tries to catch that side headlock again. HANSEN with the quick reversal with a big hammer into the back. And HANSEN is going to follow that up with a big boot to the midsection, and Magnum TA is staggered. Stan HANSEN indeed living up to his reputation as the no-sell. And here is Stan with the snapmare into the sleeper hold. Rear chin lock applied by Stan HANSEN. HANSEN is going to follow that up with another kick to the back, choice C maneuver. He'll need 7 or lower to hit this on Magnum. And he hits the kick to the back on Magnum. And Magnum gets to his feet very slowly. They come together in the center of the ring. And now it is Magnum with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Stan HANSEN, and on a roll of 2. That is a running clothesline attempted by Magnum TA. HANSEN got out of the way of that. Magnum crashes into the turnbuckle, and HANSEN rolls him up. The pin roll will be snake eyes, but on a roll of 4, Magnum just able to alertly kick out of that. But he's in trouble here, as HANSEN is now going to go for a big power bomb. He's going to go for another cover. The pin roll here is 3, and on a roll of 7, Magnum kicks out once again. Here comes Ole into the ring for a double team, and on a roll of 9, it is a running forearm smash delivered by Ole Anderson that staggers Magnum TA. Magnum TA has taken the brunt of the punishment in this match, as Anderson stays on him with a vicious stomp. Can Magnum TA make the tag to partner Brad Armstrong? No, he cannot, as Anderson stays in control and stomps him again. Now Magnum gets to his feet. They come together, and it is Magnum with an attempt at a vertical suplex. Up, over, and down to the canvas hard goes Magnum TA. Goes Ole Anderson. Magnum now back in control. And Magnum follows that up with a leg drop and a tag to the fresh man, his partner, Brad Armstrong. Here comes Brad into the ring against Ole, and it is going to be a tag team arm, ringer, and chops. And they chop him right down to the canvas. Brad Armstrong now has him in a painful arm ringer submission hold. Ole will be submitted here on a roll of 3 or lower. And on a roll of 4, Ole just able to get to the ropes and escape that. Quite the tag team move there, as Brad and TA have that level 3 tag maneuver on their level 1 offense card, right to the submission possibility. So Brad Armstrong with a great move there to turn the tide of this match. And now it is Brad going to go up for a death jump. Brad with a big death jump on Ole coming up, and on a roll of 10. That is a perfect cross body block off the top rope. Ole will be pinned on a roll of 4 or lower. And on a roll of 4, he may get him. Jimmy Hart going to try for the distraction on 7 or lower, and he just does get the distraction. Hart just able to distract the referee and prevent the pinfall there, as Armstrong had him down. And now it's going to be Magnum TA coming into the ring for a double team. And on a roll of 6, it is a bone-crunching double clothesline. Can Magnum now finish off Ole Anderson? Ole in big trouble here. And Magnum is not going to let Ole get out of the ring, but instead it is going to be Magnum with a big drop kick. And he's going to go for the cover. The pin roll now 5 or lower. And on a roll of 5, he may get him. Hansen's going to have to make the save here. And on a roll of 7, he cannot get there. And Magnum TA has pinned Ole Anderson. How about that? Magnum TA with a pinfall victory over Ole Anderson. And we have new Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Champions. Congratulations to Magnum TA and Brad Armstrong, as they have won the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Championship right here in Dallas. With a surprising come from behind victory. Boy, Magnum was on the receiving end for most of that match until Brad Armstrong came in with that double team and put Ole Anderson in a submission predicament. He was able to escape that, but then Magnum came into the ring. And despite the best efforts of Jimmy Hart and Stan Hansen to prevent the defeat, it was Magnum with a big drop kick and the cover on Ole Anderson, and new tag team champions are crowned here tonight in Dallas. A bitter disappointment for Jimmy Hart and his faction, Whatever We Want. They thought they were going to walk out of here with the tag team championship, but as it turns out, a surprise turn of events here as Magnum TA wins the Battle Royal and pins Ole Anderson to win the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Championship. And Derek Bauman, I'm right with you. I was rooting for Magnum TA and Brad Armstrong to win that as well. But I thought Hansen and Ole would take control and finish them off. They were unable to finish them off. And as a result, it is Magnum TA and Brad Armstrong taking home tag team gold here in Pro Wrestling Mid-America. And that brings us, ladies and gentlemen, with our main event of the evening. I wouldn't call them ham and eggers, Jeff Stafford. Team Miami Vice, says Mike Fortune. Is that a real thing? Were they really Team Miami Vice? Is that how they were paired? If so, because I could use a name for these guys now that they're teaming together on a regular basis and holding the gold. And they are in Pro Wrestling Mid-America, so I don't think the Miami moniker would suit them as well, although Armstrong out of Marietta, Georgia, Magnum TA out of Virginia Beach. We'll see what we can come up with. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your main event of the evening. The following contest is scheduled for one fall to a finish with no disqualification, and it is for the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, he comes to you from Amarillo, Texas. He stands at 6'1" and weighs 247 pounds. He is accompanied to the ring by his manager, Jimmy Hart. This is Terry Funk, a.k.a. Morgan the Bouncer. And his opponent comes to you from Norman, Oklahoma. He stands at 6'2" and weighs 275 pounds. He is Dr. Death Steve Williams. So we've got the Oklahoma Sooner against the East Texas Terry Funk here in Dallas. And I guess opinions would be mixed because Williams definitely the baby face in terms of his activities here in the Federation. But he is an Oklahoma Sooner. And we are in the state of Texas that Terry Funk calls home. Funk, of course, your reigning Lone Star Heavyweight Champion. That title is not on the line, and if Dr. Death wins, Terry Funk will go back to defending the Lone Star Heavyweight Championship. But if Funk wins, he'll have to vacate that title to take the big belt, and we'll have to start all over again and find a new Lone Star Heavyweight Champion. Thunder and Lightning, the Playboys, Magnum Force. I kind of like Magnum Force. We'll give it some thought. But now it's time for the main event as Terry Funk and Dr. Death go at it for the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Championship, vacated by Barry Windham. So Terry Funk thinks it's his rights to claim that title as the Lone Star Heavyweight Champion and as a stablemate of Barry Windham. But not so fast, said Lance Russell at the beginning of the show. And here comes Dr. Death Steve Williams, the #1 contender, to battle for the gold here in Dallas. And the opening initiative role is won by Dr. Death. They come together in the center of the ring, and it is Dr. Death attempting a fireman's carry takeover, but Terry Funk on the reversal comes back and attempts the overhead wrist lock, and Funk holds that overhead wrist lock. Doesn't have a very good grip on that. Williams, the stronger of the two men. And Funk is now going to try for the arm drag takedown out of that overhead wrist lock, and he gets Williams down to the canvas. Nice chain wrestling there by Terry Funk to take control on Dr. Death. And now Funk drops the knee on Dr. Death. Williams is down, Funk is on him, and he is going to spin him around and dump him down on the back of his head with a spinning neck breaker. And Williams now slow to get to his feet. Terry Funk taking control after that opening exchange. And Funk now tries for a series of chops to the chest. That is a power move, and Williams, by far the more powerful man in this match, just scoffs at those chops to the chest, and it is Williams instead with a big lariat that just takes Funk down to the canvas. Funk getting to his feet. Williams is on him with a big football tackle. And that is going to knock Terry Funk out of the ring and down to the arena floor, and here we go. Both these men A-rated performers on the arena floor. And in this no disqualification match, anything can happen. And on a roll of 3, it is Terry Funk who wins the brawl on the arena floor and just hurls Dr. Death into the crowd. We saw that earlier on with Ole Anderson, and now we see it from Terry Funk. As Williams come back to the ring, Funk is ready for him, and Funk goes to the sleeper hold, trying to weaken the big man. Williams down to one knee as Funk pours on the pressure. Jimmy Hart encouraging his man from ringside. And now Funk has got him down and is going for the spinning toe hold. This is a +1 submission maneuver. The pin roll here, the submission roll here will be a 3. And on a roll of 5, Dr. Death is able to make his way to the ropes and prevent that from happening. Heel's got no game tonight, says Jeff Stafford. But Funk now is going up for the death jump. Funk goes up for the death jump, and on a roll of 10, that is the agility struggle. Funk with the better agility rating knocks Steve Dr. Death Williams down to the canvas, and Funk is back in control. And Funk now goes back to the spinning toe hold. The submission here, the submission hold here, 4 or lower. And on a roll of 4, he got him. So how about that? Terry Funk with the spinning toe hold wins that match. And he is your new Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Champion. So after that battle on the top turnbuckle, Funk threw Williams off the turnbuckle, and Williams came down awkwardly on his knee. And Funk went right to the spinning toe hold and put him down for the submission. Terry Funk, your new Lone Star Heavyweight Champion. Funk is tougher than a $2 steak, says Salvador America. Still not quite tough enough for Patrick Swayze, but he got the job done tonight against Dr. Death to win championship gold. All right, so that will be our conclusion for tonight's match. And just for the fun of it, before we sign out, later tonight, I will be the special guest on Dave Gardner's channel, Digital to Dice on YouTube. Dave Gardner and I will be YouTubing together, and we will be playing some cards and dice hockey. I am not I enjoy the sport of hockey. I've always liked watching it on TV, but I understand the basic rules. I know what offsides is and things like that. But I really don't have a good knowledge of hockey strategy or a good knowledge of any of the teams or the players in hockey. I'd like to be more of a hockey fan than I am. And so nobody is more of a hockey fan or a hockey aficionado than Dave Gardner. So I reached out to Dave offline, and he agreed to have me on his show tonight to play some hockey on the Digital to Dice YouTube broadcast, and just see how I like it and see what I can learn about the wonderful world of hockey with Dave Gardner. So that'll be fun. That'll be starting about an hour from now, 8 o'clock Central Time on the Digital to Dice YouTube network. So check that out if you're so inclined. And yeah, I'll throw on the Stanley Cup on the background just to see what is going on with that. So yeah, tune in later on, and we will catch the Stanley Cup and the YouTube Digital to Dice podcast with Dave Gardner and Dave Little playing some cards and dice hockey. After further review with Steve Tower, Neil Lau, Jeff Stafford, Salvador America, Super Blue 1971, Bear 805, JT 2.0, Neil Lau, Derek Bauman, Kathy Evans, Captain Carl 8, sorry I missed you coming in, Captain Carl, Frank Wayne Scott. Anybody else I may have missed? Michael Brada. Good to see you, Michael. I think that is everybody. Frank Wayne Scott, thank you all for tuning in tonight for tonight's action. Congratulations to Terry Funk, the winner in your main event and new Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Champion. And, of course, congratulations as well to the team of Magnum TA and Brad Armstrong. And for now, this is Dave Little from the Dave Cave signing off. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast here on the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. That's our stream, and I am out of here.